Okay, hello everyone. Let us continue with our review material on intangible assets. So let me just share my screen para mapag-usapan na natin yung part 2 ng ating reviewer. This involves 15 items. Tama ba? 15 items na MCQ problems. Okay? So, nakikita nyo rin po for each question yung related na subtopic na or yung pinupunto ng ating mga tanong. So let us begin with first question. No, this is all about recognition and measurement. Ang tinatanong po dito, the amount to be recognized as initial cost of the patent. Okay? So 180 kasama po ba yung 180? By the way, no. The original acquisition cost is 3 million. Okay? And then merong additional cost na na-incur si entity. May legal fees, cost to transfer ownership. Sabi natin, yes, that should be included. So if we have to include this, initially meron na tayong letter B as the answer. But how about employee training to use the patent? Isasama ba natin to or hindi? Now, we have to be careful with this item here kasi pag training, employee training para gamitin yung patent, no? This is a training cost which should be expensed and therefore not included. So hindi dapat natin ito isasama, no? Bakit? Kasi po after na, no, itong training cost para gamitin. So it is not a directly attributable cost. Now, there may be training cost na pwedeng i-capitalize but it's not an appropriate term to use the training cost. But it's more of a testing cost, no? Kasi yung training, di ba, testing sa paggamit ng asset. But if the training cost is performed, no, yung quote-unquote testing cost ay na-perform after the patent was already available for use, no? Usable or doon sa intended location. And the purpose is more of to improve yung yield, yung quality, yung efficiency para naman mabilis na matutunan, no, ng mga users, ng mga gagamit yung asset na yon, expense po yun. Ang kinakapitalize natin yung testing cost, yung kinakailangan, no, para ma-ensure na yung patent ay working as intended. So that is before the asset is available, no, before yung cost na yon ay na-incur natin bago naging available for use. Okay? So scope out or excluded po ito. Yung initial testing cost of production output performed after the patent was already capable of operating as intended. Expense din po natin yan, no? Kasi sabihin niyo ay testing cost. Pero incurred, no, after the patent is already capable of operating as intended. So, hindi na rin po natin dapat ito isinasama kasi tapos na. Okay? So, scope out. Excluded po yung 100,000. Therefore, ang tamang sagot po natin for question number 1 is letter B, 3,180,000. I hope you get the point for this employee training and then initial testing cost. Kasi isipin niyo, ay, initial testing cost, capitalizable yan. Pero kasi, after the patent was already capable of operating as intended. Different from that initial testing cost na na-incur natin to make the asset available for use. Okay? So that's question number 1. Let me know if there are any questions or clarifications. Another question, no, for recognition and measurement. May develop na brand name internally. Internally siya. Okay. Research and design cost. Expense yan dapat, na. Marketing and promotional, expense yan dapat. Okay. Registration and legal cost. Brand name. Okay. So, trade name, trademark. Yan, ba? Capitalizable dapat, yung 200,000. Tama ba? Registration and legal cost. Yun po ba yun? Okay, another one. At the same time, the entity purchases a trademark from another company for 3 million and pays 100,000 in legal fees to register it. According to IAS 38, what amount should the entity recognize as intangible assets in the statement of financial position? Now, 3 million, tapos meron kang 100,000 na legal fees. So, 3.1 yan. Okay? Sandali balikan po natin kung kailangan ba nating i-capitalize internally generated. Ito kasi nag-develop ka ng brand name internally. So, pasok po ba yon doon sa mga internally generated? Ano bang sabi natin about mga internally generated? So na yon. Internally generated brands, masthead, publishing titles, customer lists. Okay? So they should be expensed when incurred. Okay, now let me just open my file for validation kung 3.1 ba or 3.3 million ang tamang sagot natin dito sa item na ito. Kasi, ito gusto ko lang bigyan ng attention doon sa 200,000 kasi sasabihin niyo, sir, hindi pa capitalizable yun. Or hindi ba expansion kasi internally generated. So ano bang na-mention sa atin about internally generated? Kasi sabi natin pag internally generated, so ini-expense po natin 'yan. Okay? So pero yan, sandali. Ito yung provision, ano ko na lang muna stop sharing lang muna ako, ilipat ko. Sandali, nawawala tuloy ang aking screen. I-share ko lamang po muna yung aking PowerPoint presentation. Yan. So ito nanggaling po ito sa aking material, pero nakasite din po ito sa standard. Internally generated brands, mastheads, publishing titles, customer lists, and similar items in substance shall not be recognized as intangible assets. Okay? Bakit? Because we cannot internally generated brands, mastheads, publishing titles, customer lists, and similar items in substance cannot be distinguished from the cost of developing the business as a whole. Therefore, such items are not recognized as intangible assets. Now, so that is different from trademark, okay, which is capitalizable because binili natin. Okay? So, ito lang emphasize lang din po natin ito. So, trademarks are words, names, symbols, or other devices used in trade to indicate the source of a product and to distinguish it from the products or others. So, you have your service marks, you have your collective marks, and certification marks. So, yun po, capitalizable when we acquire it. Alright? So, balik tayo doon sa file. Okay, so husgahan po natin, ano ba talaga sir ang tamang sagot doon sa ating tanong. Okay, so yung internally developed, okay, number 2. So in this case class, etong internally developed brand, okay, will be considered as expense. So eto, i-expense po natin. So the correct answer in this case is letter B, 3.1 million. Okay? Although may somehow I don't know if we can use the term defect. Kasi pina-register, merong legal cost. Okay? So ang dating tuloy is in-apply mo siya as a trademark. In-apply mo siya as a brand, intangible asset. So, pwede nating i-contest yun. But, sa punto na ito, yung ating tanong is base doon sa, sa position na ito pong expense na part na ito ay internally generated brands, which should have been expensed when incurred. Okay? Kaya, sa question na ito i-disclaim lang natin na is expense natin itong 200,000 because it is internally generated brand. Okay, cost of an internally generated brand. Okay, so yun po for question number 2. Proceed tayo sa question number 3. Okay, so we have a corporation here that reported the following transactions. Meron kang biniling trademark for 500,000. Meron kang acquired na customer list as part of a business combination, fair value for 20. Meron kang natanggap na patent from the government, diba? Internally developed software. Development expenditures incurred after all capitalization criteria were met amounted to 600,000. Advertising cost, no, to promote internally developed 180. So, magkano po 'yon? Pagsama-samahin natin lahat, 500 plus 420, 920 plus 350, 920, no, 1270 ba yan? 1870. Okay, 1870. So indeed, the correct answer is letter B. Anong hindi natin isasama? Itong 100,000. 180,000 advertising cost. Okay? Now, hindi pa ako naka-move on sa number 2 ulit ha. Ulitin lang natin. So, kadalasan sa mga problems, to avoid any confusion, pag internally generated, hindi naman sila usually bini-breakdown. Maglalagay doon, cost of internally generated, ganitong amount. And then somehow, to play safe, at para maiwasan yung confusion nga. So, eto, tanggal. Tapos, internally generated na research, marketing. So, kasi obvious siya na expense when incurred. Okay? So, ayan. Medyo kasi hindi ako comfortable dito sa number 2 because of the term registration and legal cost. Pero, about internally developed. Okay. Yan, sige. Number 4 na tayo. For number 4, anong tinatanong dito? Recognition and measurement pa rin. Total amount to be recognized as intangible assets pa rin. Ang concern natin sa number 3, we have different types of intangible assets. No? So, pagsama-samahin natin. Ito, number 4. So, may na-incur na cost or mga expenses. Bumili ka ng patented manufacturing process from a competitor, including non-refundable legal fees. 420. And then, cost of developing a new customer database internally. The project met all the capitalization criteria for development, 360. Advertising campaign to establish a brand name. And then payment for a 5-year exclusive license to distribute a pharmaceutical product. Meron pa ba? Internal training cost to enable employees to use the patented process. Okay? Plus, ang ika-capitalize lang natin ay yung 420. Then, itong database, pero na-satisfy yung capitalization criteria. So, na-meet natin yon. We don't need to object because of this phrase here. Na-meet yung development recognition criteria. So, ika-capitalize natin. So, 420, so plus 360, 780. Expense natin ito, advertising cost. Tapos, ito, meron kang license. 1,080,000, 780 plus 300. 1,080,000. Training cost expense. So, the answer is letter C. 1,080,000. Okay? So, that's for question number 4, letter C. Now, proceed po tayo sa number 5. Ito naman, cost of patent, pero meron tayong workback na computation. So, paano po ba yung workback computation at bakit naging workback computation siya? You were provided with sales proceeds, gain on disposal, accumulated amortization at the date of sale. Ang tinatanong, original cost of the patent. Okay? Bakit? Kung meron kang gain on disposal at yung proceeds mo, 500, ibig sabihin, mas maliit yung carrying amount. Di po ba? So, kung 500 minus 80, that is 420. At kung meron kang accumulated amortization on the date of sale, so, ang cost ng patent mo, ng asset, ay letter B. 840. Kuha ba? 500 minus 80, kasi yun yung carrying amount mo. 420, nabenta mo ng 500, panalo ka. Okay, ano yun? Carrying amount. I-add back mo yung accumulated amortization para makuha natin yung cost. So number 5, it's letter B. Okay? Next, number 6, workback computation din. Ano ang tinatanong? Useful life ng patent. Ayan. Meron kang trademark na binili ng January 1, 2022. Ang cost niya 900,000. Straight line method ang ginamit. At the end of 2024, yung carrying amount is 540. Okay, 900,000 minus mo yung 540. That is 360. Tama ba? From January 1, 2022, no, to end of 2024, 3 years yun, di ba? 360 divided by 3. Taon-taon, amortization expense mo ay 120,000. Kung 120 yun, divide natin sa 900,000. So 900 divided by 120. Double check po yung calculator niya sa calcu nyo. Mag-open na lang din ako sa phone ko ng calcu. That should be, tama po ba? 7.5 years. Okay? So number 6, the correct answer is letter C. Okay? Yan. Next, number 7 po tayo. Question number 7. Anong tinatanong dito? Magkano yung ika-capitalize natin na intangible asset? You're developing a software algorithm sa paggamit ng na gagamitin mo sa logistics operation. Now, during 2026, the following costs were incurred. Preliminary investigation, marketing analysis, expense yan. Andun yung keyword, preliminary. Programmer salaries for coding, testing, after technical feasibility was established. So, dito, yung silent na assumption natin, because of the term, after technical feasibility was established, no? And all other capitalization criteria are met. And hence, we have to capitalize the 260,000. Trading costs sa pag-operate, no? Training cost, expense. Legal fees to register intellectual property rights for the software, 80,000. Okay, so plus 80, 260 plus 80, 340. Okay, so the correct answer for number 7 is letter C. At naalala ko na naman tuloy, yung number 2, yung registration cost and legal fees. So pwede rin kasi. Anyway, kung in-apply siya as an intellectual property. Yan. Number 8. Okay. So, number 8 tayo. Ano naman ang tinatanong dito? Research and development cost. Na syempre, dahil R&D yan, ini-expense. Ang sabi natin, pag research, expense, pag development, capitalized if the capitalization criteria are met. But if they are one, R&D, expense po yan. Okay? So, number 8. Alin dito yung mga pagsasama-samahin? Equipment purchased for use in various R&D project. Okay. Ang tinatanong, expense na. So, capitalize natin. Depreciation on existing laboratory use. Laboratory equipment used in R&D, 120. Capitalize po natin yan. Kasi, while that is a depreciation, pero sorry. Ano bang sabi ko, capitalize? Expense po natin to. Materials consumed in R&D, di syempre, expense din po natin. So 120 plus 260, 380. Salaries, dagdag din natin yung 480. Calcu nga muna tayo para lang ma-double check ko din kung tama yung ating pag-add at saka yung mga pinagsasama-sama. So far, meron na tayong cumulative ng 860,000 na expense. Fees paid to external specialists for R&D. R&D Padagdag natin yung 170. And allocated overhead cost to R&D. R&D kasi, plus 230. So, the correct answer is 1,260,000. So, ito. Now, maaaring may ma-encounter kayo na tanong, na similar dito sa unang check. Equipment purchased for use in various R&D projects. What if ang nakalagay for use equipment purchased no for one specific R&D project with no alternative future use. In that sense kaya ka mayroong equipment ay gagamitin mo doon sa R&D mo. So expense mo na lang siya because it will not qualify as PPE and the entire cost is expensed as research and development. Pero pag ginamit mo siya in various R&D, we can charge the related R&D the related depreciation to various R&D projects. Research and development. Okay? So that's for number 8. 1,260,000. Number 9, research and development cost pa rin po ito. May na-incur ka na following expenditures teka, anong tinatanong? Expense din, R&D expense. Reformulation ng existing pharmaceutical product to improve shelf life. Okay? Expense natin yon. Okay? Investigation and correction of defects. Okay? Arising during routine commercial production. Now dito, nasa routine commercial production na po ito. Okay? So, this should not be considered as an R&D cost. It is a normal production cost. Okay? So, ang tinatanong kasi dito ay research and development. Hindi po expense in general. Okay? Ito po, normal, production cost. Yung pangatlo, design and testing of specialized equipment using newly developed technology, 210. Design and testing of specialized. Okay? Ito po, research and development. Sama natin. Minor seasonal design modification to an existing product line. Ito po, considered as an ordinary operating cost. Okay? Ordinary operating cost, itong ating 180,000. So, hindi po yan kasama as R&D. Laboratory activities directed toward discovering a new chemical compound. Kasama po natin yung 230. So, pag samasamahin natin, 160 plus, plus 210 plus 230, the correct answer is letter B. 600,000 pesos. All right? So, that's for question number 9. Number 10 naman, the question is all about amortization. Ang challenge natin pagdating pala sa research and development, yung mga items to consider, alin ba dito yung research, alin ba dito yung development cost. So, tignan po yung ating pa-revisit ng standard. Okay? Or pwede rin naman doon sa ating sa ating material na binigay ko po sa inyo sa about past 38 on intangible assets. Kasi binigyan naman tayo ng standard ng mga illustrations about research costs at saka yung mga development costs alin doon. Activities aimed exploration, searching for alternatives. Okay? Research on. Okay, but anyway, hindi ko na po yun isa-isahin para nakafocus lang tayo dito sa mga problems. Number 10, ulit, hindi pa pala tayo, hindi pa natin nasasagutan. What amount of amortization expense should the company recognize for 2025? Meron kang 1.8 million. Okay? Ang patent may legal life, 15 years. Based on market conditions and expected technological changes, the estimated useful life is 10 years na. Yun lang yung benefit niya. So, ano gagamitin mo? 15 or 10? So, yun lang naman ang pagpipilian dito. Shorter life. So, 1.8 divided by 10 years, ang sagot natin ay letter C. Okay? Kung mas matagal, halimbawa, ang estimate mo 20 years. So, meron kang legal life. Sundin natin yung legal life. Alright? So, yun po, for number 10. Number 11 tayo. Meron kang change in useful life. Prospective yung application. January 1, 2023, may na-recognize ka na trademark. Indefinite yung useful life. Indefinite na, no? Measuring it using the cost model. Okay. Although, syempre, ang sinasabi lang dito na measuring it using the cost model, it does not mean na magkakaroon ka ng amortization. The company is using the cost model, but since indefinite yun, wala tayong amortization. But in the case na merong changes, kagaya dito sa problem na ito, kung 6 million yung carrying amount ng trademark, tapos but by the end of 2025, na-conclude niya na due to market changes, instead of it being indefinite, no, it will only generate benefits for the 12 years remaining. So, the trademark had not been amortized previously, and assuming wala naman tayong information on any impairment between January 1, 2023 to January or to December 31, 2025. So, ano gagawin natin? Simply, basic lang, 6 million divided by 12. So, ano ang sagot natin dito? Ito po. Okay? Ang sagot natin ay letter B or question number 11. Okay? Next. Ito. Uy, parang pang-churi, ano? But anyway, ang tinatanong naman, ito naman, magkukumpute ka pa rin naman. At least for 1 and 2. Meron kang binayaran, 96 million. Ang fair value ng identifiable assets and liabilities. Assets mo, 110. Liabilities mo, 28. And net assets ang pinag-uusapan natin, so we have to deduct the liabilities doon sa assets. So, 110 minus 28. The net assets fair value is 82 million. Compare mo doon sa 96, meron tayong i-recognize na goodwill amounting to 14 million. So tama yung 1, tama din yung 2. Goodwill represents future economic benefits from unidentifiable assets. Tama din yan. Because goodwill is unidentifiable. That distinguishes goodwill from identifiable intangible assets. Goodwill is amortized over its useful life. This is wrong because goodwill is not amortized but tested for impairment. So, ang correct answer natin is letter B, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I hope clear po tayo dyan. Next, question number 13. Haba din, no? Pero magkukompute ka. Ano daw yung recoverable amount na tinatanong? Okay, sa problem, no? Ang cost mo, 1 million. Ang accumulated amortization mo, 400. So, the carrying amount is 600. The patent has a residual value of 50,000. Okay. Relevant pa siya? Okay. Tingnan natin. The company recognizes an impairment loss of 120. Okay. What is the recoverable amount? So kung 1 million minus 400, sabi natin the carrying amount is 600. Ignore natin yung residual value. Kung meron kang na-recognize na impairment loss na 120, 600 yung original mo, minus 120. Therefore, your recoverable amount is 480,000. Dito, sagot natin, letter B. Basic lang naman, 600 minus 120. Okay? So, mali po yung letter B kasi kinonsider mo yung residual value. Consider na po yung residual value dun sa cost. We are not talking about amortization computation. So, ignore mo lang siya. Ito, mali naman yung letter C kasi idinagdag yung impairment loss. Kung 720 yung recoverable amount mo, tapos yung carrying amount mo ay 600, di ba? Whichever is lower. The lower between the carrying amount and the recoverable amount. Dapat ka greater than ra. Carrying amount is greater than recoverable amount. Yung recoverable amount mo magiging 720, mali na yung less than na yung ka. Okay? Dito naman sa letter D, binawas mo nga yung mali. Dinagdag mo yung impairment loss. pero minus mo yung residual value. So, mali po siya, ha? Okay? So, number 13, letter B, ang tamang sagot. Next question. Ito naman, number 14, about disposal. Gain or loss? What amount of gain? So, pag positive gain, pag negative loss, should Solara recognize in the statement of profit or loss, the income statement? Ang cost mo, 900,000. Accumulated depreciation or amortization, I mean, is 540. So, 900 minus 540. You have 360, no? Yung natanggap mo na cash, okay, ay 400. E di meron kang gain, 40,000. Panalo ka. So, letter C. Okay? Ganun lang, no? And lastly, last but not the least, for number 15, as generating unit, ang tinatanong, meron kang goodwill, 600. PPE, 1.4. Identifiable intangible, 1 million. So, 600 plus 1.4 plus 1 million, 3 million ito, di ba lahat? Eh yung CGU, recoverable amount is determined to be 2.3. Ang tinatanong, what will be the carrying amount of the goodwill after impairment? The answer is 0. Bakit? Eh kasi, 600,000 yung goodwill mo, ang impairment mo, 700. Impairment loss mo, 3 million versus 2.3, you have an impairment loss of 700,000. Eh, meron kang goodwill. Allocate first to goodwill. So, may natitira pa 1 million paghatian nitong dalawa based on their carrying amount. Okay? So, but the question is, carrying amount ng goodwill, the answer is 0. Alright, so that ends the MCQ except doon sa number 2 na hindi ako mapalagay, no, sa legal cost, registration and legal cost na. Okay, sige. So let me know if you have any questions or clarification, but that ends our recording of the MCQ problems for intangible assets. Maraming salamat. I will now end our recording.